Okay, so we do this with everyone that we have on. So this is, again, this is season 2. So we got some new rapid fire questions, no right or wrong answer, just first thing that kind of comes to mind. So the first one, who is your favorite golfer to watch and why?
Shane Lowry. I love him. Irishman. My family history is Irish.
Same.
I fell in love with him. Yeah, there we go. Come on, Irish brother. I don't know. We'll talk. Yeah. I did have some red in here. Now it's all gray and white. But Shane Lowry, man. I watched. It was before his U.S. Open. I can't remember what tournament I watched him, but it was way back in the day before he won the U.S. I would say the British Open, but I'm old. The Open in 2019, and I don't know what it was. I think it was partially the Irish thing, but the other part, I just fell in love with him. He was playing an old driver. He was playing an old TaylorMade, and I was like, this dude's playing this old TaylorMade. I can't believe it. And he was smoking it. And anyways, Shane Lowry, number one guy. If you at all follow me, I shout out Shane Lowry probably once a week, which is probably really creepy. And my wife even knows who Shane Lowry is. That just goes to show how much I talk about Shane. But he has looked at some of my stories before.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll shout him out. And plus with the whole Cleveland Strixon thing, whatever. And so I shout him out all the time. And he looks. And I made a post. I was like, Shane, when are you going to like one of these things? Like, when are you going to actually heart it? That's what I'm waiting for. He didn't do it. That's like secretly, his wife probably runs his Instagram. And so it's not even him.
Probably. I felt the same way. I'm a big Cincinnati Bengals fan, and last season I posted, I forgot what it was. I posted something on my story, but Trey Hendrickson looked at my story, and it was like a long, I had I don't know, probably 8 or 9 of them up there. He looked at every single one, and he liked a couple of them, and I was like, that's my dog.
That's huge, because a lot of times they'll just look at that one and then
that's what I thought. I've had some other big people, but yeah, when he liked my story, I was like, I made it. I might just quit my job and just,
That's funny. Man, hey, okay, Bengals. So I'm old enough that I have a son-in-law, so that's weird. But he went to LSU, and huge Joe Burrow guy, right? Okay, so for their wedding, my daughter has been married to this guy for a year now, and we love him. He's great. But for my gift to him for marrying my daughter, other than giving her to him, was a signed Joe Burrow rookie card.
Oh, wow.
Like PSA, graded 10, signed Joe Burrow. That was my gift to him. I was like, here you go, put it somewhere nice.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he's a really smart guy, and he's really good with money, and he loves sports. And he was like, in kind of like not a nice way, he was like, well, I've got a Mike Trout that's, son. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're rich. I was like, great, give me that card back, you jerk.
Yeah, you dickhead. Thanks, dude.
Yeah. I thought, well, what the hell did I spend all this money on this freaking Joe Burrow? But it was, he got that as a gift from one of his friends. I was like, okay, screw you.
Yeah, whatever, dude. That's so funny.
There you go. Okay, that's it. This is not very rapid fire. I'm sorry.
No, that was needed. Y'all had
no clue that I can ramble today.
That's right. The rapid fire are never rapid. It's always
no. We've had one person be like, Tiger, boom, next. I'm like, okay. Cool, dude.
No context. I love it.
Next up, if you could switch places with one person for 24 hours, who would it be?
Shane Lowry.
We have to tag Shane Lowry in these clips. He's gonna see it. I'm telling you right now, Shane Lowry's gonna like this, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
This is gonna be the one like I get from Shane Lowry. I would tell. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna change my answer. Like, I was just trying to be funny. No, it's Shane Lowry. I think he's got a great life. He's like running around Jupiter, Florida. He lives with all these big cats. He's got a great family. Travels enough, but not like crazy, right? He seems like he's that good mix of, I'm a pro golfer, but also a family guy. Mm-hmm. I loved his stuff on TGL. I mean, that whole thing with the Bay Golf Club, and
that was cool.
I watched every one of them. I was sold, but I'll watch golf, man. I watch live golf. That's how much I watch golf.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm watching anything I can get my hands on. Champions Tour, we're going to watch it. The Euro women, we're watching it. So
hell yeah.
I feel like he's one of those guys, kind of like a Kevin Kisner, that it's like he's made all the money from golf, but he can go where he needs to go, and like most people aren't going to recognize him, but it's almost like there's a joy in that too, that he could just be who he is. Right. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. Yeah, right. If he's walking around with Rory, they're going up to Rory. They're leaving him alone. Yeah. You know,
they're asking him to take the photo. Of Rory.
Yeah. Not me, I'd be like, "Get away, Rory."
So this question probably has already been answered. But what's your favorite club in your bag?
Ooh. Man, what if I threw out like gap wedge? So putter, obviously. I was never a lob wedge guy because it's funny. Listen to Tiger Woods. Tiger was talking to, who was it recently? Tom Kim or somebody. Anyways, and he was talking about out of the sand. He always has used a 56 degree. Because that's the sand wedge. And like when I was growing up, I had a pitching wedge and then I had a sand wedge. I didn't have a gap wedge. I didn't have a lob wedge. I had a buddy that guy, Andrew, played all ping eye twos and he had a lob wedge. And that thing, of course, the ping eye two wedges looked insane. But they worked. And matter of fact, I've got a whole set of them because it's just something nice to have. And, but anyways, the lob wedge thing was never my thing. And even later in life, when I could afford to get whatever I wanted, relatively speaking, I didn't have a lob wedge. Well, probably 6 years ago, I said, you know what, I need to actually fill out that part of the bag. Like, I feel like I'm missing something I did have a gap wedge at that point, but doing everything with a gap and a sand, I don't need a 2-iron anymore. I'm like carrying a 2-iron, can't hit it to save my life, but I thought at least it looked cool. So get rid of the 2-iron. I don't even have a 3 or a 4 anymore. I have all sorts of other, clubs to handle that stuff. And I got a lob wedge, and I really love my lob wedge. And I had a Cleveland Mac Daddy before, and now I've got sorry, I said Cleveland,
the Callaway
Mac Daddy, and now I play the Cleveland RTZs. But I really like the lob wedge. It is totally changed what I'm doing around the greens and in the sand, which I'm surprised by. So I just keep hitting it, and I might get rid of the sand. I don't know why I even have it anymore. It's definitely putter. It's 100% putter.
Love that.
What is a hidden talent of yours?
Ooh.
Shane Lowry impersonation.
Yeah, right. Shane Lowry fan club president. I write him handwritten notes every day. My hidden talent is handwriting. No, it would be, okay, Gary, so we were talking about music earlier. So the thing that I kind of changed hobbies, really, if you will, is I've played bass guitar since I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
It started with playing in like band in middle school. I played saxophone. I played alto sax and bari sax. It's funny. My parents, it's probably not funny actually, but anyways, in 4th grade, my parents say you have to play an instrument, and I'm a kid, so I just do what my parents say. And my parents got me because I think it would make me cultured or something like that. So, I don't know. And here you go. So my parents, not musical at all, they got me an alto sax, and it's all because Bill Clinton was president and he played saxophone.
That's awesome.
So hence I should play saxophone.
Right, because you're Bill Clinton.
Because I'm Bill Clinton, I guess. Right. I don't know. So I guess it gave away who my parents voted for. So which is probably not a shock, to be honest. But so fast forward, I go into middle school. Well, of course, I'm playing saxophone because they bought me a friggin' saxophone. So it's like I can't go in and go, yeah, I'd like to play violin now. So I play saxophone, and while in band, us band kids talked about, well, what is actually cool, and it wasn't playing saxophone. So we started this little punk band because Green Day was huge and all these other guys, and
yeah,
early like post grunge mid '90s. So one guy played drums. He was a percussionist in middle school band. The other guy played guitar because his dad had a guitar. So I was left. Who's going to play bass in the 3-piece punk band? It was me. It turns out I love bass. I absolutely love bass. I played bass from that point all the way through high school. Played in college for a long time. I didn't have a regular job because I just played in bands and made money on the weekend. It was awesome. Really funny enough, thought I was going to do that for a living. And I played on the kind of Christian rock side. So like we had this whole thing, playing church events and doing all this kind of stuff. And so that was a huge part of my life. It still is, but it was a huge part of my life all the way until we moved here to Texas. And I played at church every Sunday morning, would travel around, do events. Lived in Nashville for a little while and did recording and worked at a studio to learn the recording side.
Nice.
So that's the bass guitar thing is my hidden talent.
Nice. One of my really good buddies that I actually met playing Xbox like almost 10 years ago now. He lives in Dallas, Fort Worth, and he is a professional bass player.
There you go.
He plays bass for the Band of Heathens. He plays in that band.
Yeah.
And then he was he's also the keyboardist in the band Live.
Oh, wow.
From the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Live.
Like the band Live. Yeah, he's also he's a keyboardist in there.
Oh, dang.
So, but yeah, he plays out in Dallas, Fort Worth all the time. Goes out there. Shout out Nick J.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, he's great. He owns his own recording studio too. He's a good dude, good player out there.
That is awesome. Look at that.
You asked that one, TJ?
Yeah. What studio were you at? Because my day job is I'm a manager at a recording studio here.
Yeah. So there was this guy named Donnie who played for, a bunch of Christian artists, everybody from like Amy Grant to, what was it? It was before he worked with Jars of Clay guys. And then, because actually I built baffles, funny enough. I don't know why, but the keyboard player for Jars of Clay was building his studio. Donnie, who was a drummer and then owned the recording studio, said, like, hey, I think you can build baffles for him and make some money. I don't have the time to do it. So I did it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I just did what Donnie told me to do. My dad even came into town to help me because I was inept when it came to like, putting things together. So he didn't have like I don't remember the name of the studio, to be honest, because that was 2002.
God, we were babies.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago. Yeah. But it was a cool thing because living there that would have been after my sophomore year of college. I loved the music thing, was playing a lot of music at the time and said, hey, this is what I want to do with my life. So I moved to Nashville because Donnie, he was a drummer. It's rare to have a house bassist and then somebody that shows interest in learning how to, record the production side, all that kind of stuff. And so I went up there and did a project for a guy out of Birmingham, Alabama. And he said, hey, if you want to come up here, I could use you all the time. You can play bass for me. I'll teach you the production side. And, you just got to find a place to live and, make it work. And so I did. I worked at a tuxedo shop, and which was ridiculous. Played in the studio in the afternoon and evening. Went on a couple of little tours with people. Josh Bird, shout out Josh. I think he lives in Atlanta now. It was like Dave Barnes. If anybody knows Dave Barnes, it was like that kind of stuff. I mean, he lived with Dave Barnes at the time. So all this kind of college radio stuff in the mid 2000s was that kind of thing. It was like I remember going to John Mayer, of all people, at a college gig before he was signed and going, this guy's insane. Like, it was insane to see him live. And then that's what everybody was chasing. All these guys were trying to be John Mayer. So, playing at these colleges. But, Josh Bird and this, oh my gosh, I can't remember. I did like folk Americana stuff, which was wild. Yeah. I really loved, but definitely different sound than I was playing regularly. So
Okay.
I lived there like 10 months, and I got to a point where I said, I'm tired of like living hand to mouth, and I got a little afraid of not having a college degree. And I just went back to Birmingham, Alabama, went back to college, and then kept going forward. So,
hey,
yeah,
all good part of the journey, though. You know.
That's right.
All right. So the last one is: what is your personal goal for the golf game? What is your personal goal for your golf game this upcoming season?
Oh man, it's really going to sound simple, but just to get back into real playing shape. I mean, kind of regularly playing and practicing to where when I go out to play, whether it's with friends or just locally here, whatever it is, that I'm relatively confident. I know it's tough to say confident in your game, but that I'm relatively confident in the whole game. Mm-hmm. I'm confident in putting, and that sounds it just feels egotistical to say it, but it's because I'm practicing all the time. That's a much easier aspect. I feel as much time as I took away from the game, because really I would play here and there over the last like 20 some years. This is what got me full force back, because mainly I was playing a whole lot of bass guitar, to be honest, and that's where I was spending the majority of my time outside of my family and in my day job. But falling back in love with golf, wanting to make it a big part of my life and my family's life. The putting thing is I'm confident, but it's the other aspects. So getting back to really being good around the green, being good with irons on certain approach shots, things that I should normally hit well. So like at my peak when I was in high school, I was playing to a 5.2 handicap, and I would love to get back to play like single digits handicap. That's really where I would go. Right now, I'm not really tracking it, but I'm probably playing to like a 12 or a 13. So I would like to get to where I could count on a relatively solid score to where I feel like my abilities actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a pretty well-rounded answer.
Well, thank you.
So
I think about it all the time. It's just I need the money and the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you can't go get divorced to find the time, because there goes all your money. And also, I love my wife to death. April, no divorce. But I would love to make more money, so people please buy putters and polos and stuff. But you still got to have the time, to get out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Jordan, for taking the time. It's been a blast chatting with you.
Thanks for watching today's episode. To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.